So what exactly are titans in Greek mythology? Well, there seems to be some confusion. For instance, if you mention Zeus's father Cronus as being a god, you might get some people trying to correct you saying, no, Cronus isn't a god, he's a titan. And that's half right, Cronus is a titan, but he's also a god. They're not mutually exclusive terms. The titans are a subgroup of gods. Not all gods are titans, but all titans are gods. In a Venn diagram, the titan circle is inside the god circle. Now, why the titans have their own little group separate from everybody else isn't super clear. For one thing, titans aren't physically different from other gods. In English, we use the term titanic to describe something of immense size, so in modern Greek mythology media, we often see titans depicted as big monsters or something like that. But that association didn't exist at all in the ancient Greek language, and in ancient Greek sources, we never see the titans being described as looking different or having some distinct attribute associated with the group as a whole. So what does titan mean in the ancient Greek language then? Well, archaic poet Hesiod gives an explanation in his Theogony. In his telling of how the children of Gaia and Uranus seized power, he says that Uranus gave his sons the title of titans after they usurped him. Hesiod seems to have believed that the title came from the ancient Greek words for strain and vengeance, I guess alluding to the idea that the titans overreached by trying to steal power that would eventually be stolen back from them by the Olympians. I personally suspect, however, that this is just a folk etymology. It's something you see a lot in ancient literature where people will make uneducated guesses about where words came from just based on how they sound. We today do that too. You've probably heard how the word history comes from his story, but that's not true. It's just a folk etymology. It actually comes from the Greek word historia. Anyway, I think Hesiod might have been making a similar false assumption with the word titan, but we can never know. So what exactly are titans? Well, if we go by Hesiod's definition, the title is very specific. It refers only to Cronus and his brothers who helped him usurp Uranus, and then their wives would have been the Titanesses. But as you look at later and later sources, you start to see other gods like Prometheus, Helios, Hecate, also given the title of Titans. Why did this happen? I don't know. It probably has to do with the fact that ancient people weren't nearly as concerned as we are with taxonomizing everything and keeping every aspect of their belief system consistent. This is the main reason we see a lot of contradictions in myths recorded in different times and different places. Thanks to this confusion, a lot of people nowadays just assume that Titan is a title that applies to basically any god who was in power before the Olympians, and I myself am guilty of running with that assumption even if it's not explicitly supported in ancient sources. Ultimately, there is no consistent idea of who is and isn't a Titan or what that even really means. So you're probably not being very helpful writing condescending comments trying to correct people's terminology. Instead, you should make condescending videos.